back to another video. I'm Nathan Trimbach, a Minnesota-based photographer focusing on different film stocks and simulations. Now, about a year ago, I made a trip out to Nashville and walked up and down Broadway to check out the neon signs, honky-tonks, and music. And so I took two Nikon N80s and shot 5 different rolls of film. So today I want to show you what I shot. So welcome to my video of Nashville on 5 different film stocks. First, I'm going to show you some film comparisons where I had shot side by side or of the same subject. This was the first shot of the trip from my hotel room, and I loved how the golden light turned out on Ultramax, and then turned pinkish on the Lomo Purple. I proceeded downtown to go up and down Broadway Avenue. I like this shot with the neon signs and transformer-looking AT&T building in the background. For this shot, I liked how the differences between the Ultramax and Purple are fairly subtle. You see most of the change in the windows, clothing, and street. I also like the guy with the garbage cans entering and exiting the scene. As you can see, certain colors mostly stay the same, like red, but the yellow turns pink and the windowsills goes from dark blue to mint green. In the shot, I liked how the arrow sign was changing colors. The light was fading fast here, and I managed to get a shot on Cinestill 800T and on my iPhone at blue hour. As the night got progressively darker, I tested different film stocks and how their colors turned out. I really enjoyed seeing the progression of the AT&T building in different lighting. The boot country was a fun storefront to shoot with lots of characters, lights, and activity. And the night brings a different look and feel. I love the colors in Lomo Purple, but I also love all the neon lights in the windows on Cinestill. This was one of my favorite shots throughout the night. The bouncer there was pretty much there the whole night, and I loved AJ's bright yellow doorway, and how it turned bright pink on Lomo Purple. Luke's was one of the few shots that I got all 5 films of neon signs on. I love how different this colorful sign looked across all 5 film stocks. It looks very warm on Ultramax, funky on Purple, cinematic on Cinestill, and a very cool blue on Fuji T64. But even the black and white contrast of BWXX was exciting to see. Looking at Nudi's honky tonk was interesting because I don't see as much variation in the main sign, but the surrounding street, building, and sky has a different cast on all 3. The Apple Store was another great spot to shoot at. I loved how the Lomo Purple turned the glass into a hot pink. Getting a shot on Cinestill before it got too dark turned it all yellow on the inside. Whereas Fujichrome T64 seemed to have kind of a peach look on the inside. Later in the night, I got more shots of the Apple Store on Cinestill 800T. The low ISO of T64 caused a lot of light streaks, whereas the Cinestill BWXX had a lot more stark contrast. Now let's get into each film I shot there. Ultramax was the first film I had loaded, and I was able to finish the roll as the golden hour was wrapping up. Ultramax was great to shoot around Broadway because of all the vibrant colors and neon signs. As the sun began to set further in the horizon, the store lights got brighter. I really liked getting this shot with all the yellow in the doorway. I especially liked capturing all the neon signs with the blue hour sky. LomoChrome Purple was also fun to shoot side by side with the Ultramax before the light faded. I couldn't wait to see how all the different colors would change on Purple. Before the sunset, you could see how many of the signs, doorways, and buildings would change to all different colors along Broadway. But I especially liked when in some scenes where the changes seemed more subtle, and you might not notice at first glance that it was Lomo Purple. Overall, I'm very happy I shot on purple on Broadway Avenue. Once the sun had set, I had finished Ultramax in purple. I loaded up on Cinestill 800T to get the last bits of Blue Hour. All the neon signs were turned on fully and making a stronger appearance now that the sun was gone. I really enjoyed seeing all the people walk up and down Broadway, as well as all the music playing from multiple bars. Of course, if you didn't bring your boots, you could pick up a pair. There are also some great street food for party people to soak up the booze. Fujichrome T64 Type II is a tungsten balanced slide film. I've talked about this film before on this channel, and it's one of my favorites. Blue Hour had passed, and I had finished up the Cinestill 800T and loaded this up. While I love how many of these turned out, to be honest, the exposure was a little bit overexposed and washed out a bit on some of the shots. But I wanted to share it anyhow and see what you thought. My favorite thing about this film is how blue-violet many of the lights give off. It contrasts very well with reds, pinks, and purples. I had actually only packed 4 rolls of film for this trip and was out of film after my Fuji T64 roll. But I ran into another film photographer, Joshua Dobbs, and his partner getting some street photos as well. He graciously gave me a roll of Cinestill BWXX. Go check out his Instagram at Joshua W. Dobbs. I was still fairly new to shooting BWXX at night, so I think these were rated at ISO 800. I have since changed my style to shoot at ISO 200 for film at night. However, I loved the stark black and white contrast of this film. It is now my favorite black and white film to shoot at night. Nashville really was a fun place to shoot this film. Hey, thanks so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new with the different film stocks and comparisons. And I'll see you on the next one.